Hi everyone, welcome and welcome back. We'll be doing a 15-minute sun salutation today. If there's ever anything, if you got 15 minutes and you want to move all of the joints in your body and start to really re-energize and wake up, this is the sequence for you. So we'll be standing at the top of our mats. And once you come to the top of your mat, I invite you to spread your toes nice and wide. And shift your weight slightly forward and back to find that even place of weight distribution on your feet. And then bring your hands to heart center. And as you close your eyes, press the earth away. And then imagine that you're trying to spread your legs a little bit wider and feel them firm up. It's like you're trying to, if you were pressing your feet into the sand and then trying to spread the sand out with the feet, that you would feel those feet rooting down. And just as much as you're rooting down, feel the center of the crown of your head rising up and noticing how that narrows the waist a little bit. Firming up through your thighs. Begin by setting an intention for this practice. What is it that brought you to the mat today? Is it to find some space in your body and in your mind? Is it to re-energize? Is it to simply take a few moments for yourself in our hectic lives? Whatever it is, let that move from your head into your heart and trust that the practice will give you what you need. And then once you've established that heart space with your intention, take a deep breath in and release. I always feel like that's planting a seed and then trusting that it's now being sent out and received into the universe. Come to stand at the top of your mat if you're not there already. Big toes, of course, can be touching, or the feet can be a comfortable hip distance apart, whatever's right for you. And right for you, you'll know because you'll feel a little bit more spacious in your low back. Of course, we pull up the pelvic floor and we see if we can maintain that pelvic floor support throughout this sequence. Thighs stay energized, spine stays elegant and dignified. Let's inhale, extend your arms up to the sky. You can interlace your fingers or not. This first round will go through slowly. Feel a lifting up and out of the hips as you root down into the earth. And inviting you to practice Ujjayi Pranayama, which is that Ujjayi breathing, that slight tightening in the back of the throat, the same muscles you would use if you were saying in a mirror. And then you close your lips to maintain that same sensation in the back of the throat. This helps to stabilize the mind. On the exhalation, folding forward right through center. Hands can come onto your shins perhaps for this first time, especially if the hamstrings aren't quite ready. And on the next exhalation, fold forward maybe a little bit more and plant your hands on the ground. Step your feet back into a plank position. We're going to hold plank for about 5 breaths. Knees are optional. Pressing the earth away. So you're trying to bring your shoulder blades a little bit more to the sky to prevent from dropping into those inner edges of the shoulder blades. We never want to collapse here. We don't want the shoulder blades protruding. This isn't healthy. Instead, press away and be strong and feel your abdominals kick in. And on an exhalation, lifting up and back into downward facing dog. Inviting you to maybe pedal your heels this first time around. Body, especially if you just woke up this morning or you've been sitting all day, this will feel particularly refreshing. Then maybe coming onto the creases of the toes, stretch out the soles of the feet, and exhale, draw the heels back. Just a couple more breaths here as you stretch the crown of the head down into the space between the hands, firming up the biceps and the triceps, firming up the kneecaps by pressing the thigh bones back in space. Of course, you're not actually firming the kneecaps, those are bones, but you can firm the muscles around the bones. And then inhale, shifting forward And lowering your knees for this first round, hug the elbows in close to the ribs, slowly, slowly to lower down. You want to make sure your knees are way back beyond your hips. Lengthen the toes along the floor. Firm up the knees away from the floor again. Firm up the thighs. Draw the shoulders back. Let the elbows point down towards the ground. Now draw the navel up away from the floor. And all 10 toenails are actively pressing down into the ground. That helps to keep the glutes firm and the thighs firm. Crown of the head reaching out beyond the neck. Again, taking this very first one really slow to get in touch with the muscles that are needed to move through this. It's important when you're moving quickly that you don't forget about all the stabilization muscles along the way. Inhale, maybe lift a little bit higher. Maybe draw the shoulders back a little bit more. Maybe coming into a deeper cobra pose. My hips are still on the floor. And exhale, lowering down. Toes tuck. Inhale, pressing back up into tabletop. And then sitting bones back into downward facing dog. Move your head a little bit, yes and no. Walk your feet towards your hands. Might look kind of like this. That's okay. You definitely don't want to look like this. This isn't healthy. Instead, come up more. Have the pelvis rotating over the thighs. This is better than this. We're here to get healthy, not to hurt. And then inhale. Bending the knees, press the earth away, come all the way up, come into a little bit of a back bend. And as you lift into your back bend, you're once again lifting up and out of the hips, trying to narrow and lengthen the side body. And exhale back to your heart. So of course, always working at your own speed, at your own pace. I'll move through this a little bit quicker, modify anytime you need. Inhale to stretch up. Exhale to fold through. Hands can rest on thighs, shins, or maybe the floor. Inhale, lengthen, extend the crown away from the heart, broad across the chest. Exhale, folding again to meet the floor. Step your feet back. Plank or knees on the ground. Breathing here. Just 3 breaths here. Exhale, either with the knees or without, slowly to lower down. Bring the belly along the ground. Stretch the front of the body nice and long, lifting through the chest. Inhale into cobra. My thighs are still firm. My heart is shifting forward and up. And exhale, lengthening, lowering down. Tuck toes, inhale, pressing up into tabletop, and exhale back into downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Breathing here. Notice if you're kind of rounding your low back here, might feel like it's kind of painful. Instead, think about lifting the sitting bones up and pulling the thighs back, and then pulling the belly up and in towards the spine. We're never holding so much that we can't breathe. We always want the breath to be able to flow fluidly. And if at any time downward dog is too much, you can come back to tabletop or come back into child's pose. We're not here to force anything. We're here to stay agile and mobile and flexible and strong as we age. And begin to walk your feet forward. Inhale, lengthen a little bit more. Exhale to fold. Bend your knees, press the earth away. Inhale, come all the way up, find a back bend that is suitable. Exhale to your hearts. Again, I'll continue to speed it up just a little bit. Inhale. Exhale, melting forward. Inhale, opening the chest. Exhale, plant the hands, step your feet back. Breaths here. Knees on or off the ground as you slowly lower down. Lengthen the toes behind you. Inhale, open up into cobra. Draw the shoulder blades back and down. So you don't want the shoulders up towards the ears. Instead, roll the shoulders back and down and shine with your heart. Exhale, lengthening the belly. Press the toes. Inhale either into tabletop or press up into plank. And exhale back into downward dog. Let's take 4 breaths in downward dog this time. Inhaling and exhaling for 1. Inhale. Exhale for 2. Inhale. Exhale for 3. Inhale. Stepping your feet forward. And exhale to fold. Inhale, press the floor away. Keep those knees right over the middle of your feet. Reach all the way up. Exhale to your hearts. I know you only have one heart, but all together we have many physical hearts, one universal heart of love. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, hands plant, fingers spread wide. Step your feet back, slowly to lower. I'm going to keep my hips off of the ground this time. You don't need to. Lifting and lengthening. If your hips are off the ground, you're still actively pressing into the tops of the feet and letting your heart shine forward. Glutes are firm. And exhale, flipping the toes, come back into downward facing dog. 2 breaths. One more breath. Inhale. And exhale, step your feet forward. Inhale, come up part way. Broaden across the chest. Exhale to fold. Bending the knees. Inhale, reach all the way up. Exhale to the heart. Again, inhale. Root to rise. Exhale, melt. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, plant the hands, step back. And lower all the way down this time. Inhale, open the chest. Exhale, hips up and back. 1 full breath in. And 1 full breath out. Step the feet forward. Look up part way. And exhale to fold. Inhale, reach up. Exhale to heart. Again, inhale. Exhale. Notice you're getting a little bit warmer. Inhale. Exhale. Feet step back. Slowly to lower. Inhale to open your back bend of choice. It can be low, halfway, or upward facing dog. Exhale back into downward facing dog. This time we'll stay here for a resting of 5 breaths. You can always come down onto your knees. Check to see if your elbows are rolling out. If they are, just imagine you've got a rubber band around them to prevent them from dropping out to the sides. And if you're hyper flexible and they're dropping in, you'll have to make a little bit more effort to firm up your triceps and your biceps. Beautiful. Let's step the feet forward. You can walk there, step, walk, float, or jump. Exhale to fold. Inhale, reach all the way up. Get a little bit taller, a little bit longer. Press into the earth. And exhale to your heart. We'll take this through one more time. Inhale, enjoying every little move. And exhale, fold, stretching out the back of the body. Inhale, come up part way, lengthening through those hamstrings a little bit more. Exhale, plant the hands, step the feet back. Slowly to lower here. So you're firming up the arms, firming up the belly. Inhale, open into your back bend of choice. Exhale, flip your hips, downward facing dog. Inhale, step your feet forward. Look up. Exhale to fold. Inhale, bend the knees. Even as you bend them, don't let them come out. Keep those big toes rooted. Inhale, bend the knees, sweep all the way up. And exhale to your hearts. Coming to stand in Tadasana, which is that original standing pose we had, which means mountain pose. Hands can be at your heart. They can be along your side body. Sometimes this is called Samastitihi, standing at attention. Notice how those few rounds of sun salutation, traditional Surya Namaskar A, have made you feel, not only physically but energetically. How are things flowing, and how does your mind feel? Does it feel more stable? Bring your hands back to your hearts. Put a little bit of a smile on your face. Feel the corners of your lips slightly upturned. Come back into the intention that you set at the beginning of this practice, and allow it to be so. Releasing Ujjayi breath if you still have it. If you have things that you need to get to now, enjoy the rest of your day, feeling a little bit more energized and mobilized. If you have some time, I really would invite you to come down onto your mats into Shavasana, and I will be reading a poem. Shavasana is sometimes skipped, and really I consider it one of the most important poses that we can do. Learning how to be quiet and to be still, and to allow the mind to be quiet and still without the distraction of the body. I always encourage the Shavasana to be appropriate for you. So if you would like to put a blanket under your back or your hips, or something underneath your knees or your ankles, and then notice if your chest is kind of collapsing in, and see what happens if you can roll your shoulder blades under a little bit, maybe spread your feet a little bit wider, letting your palms face open, this gesture of being receptive, of being open. Let your eyes close. Make any last minute shifts. Feet relax. Let the outline of the body dissolve, especially as I mention the body parts. Legs relax. Dissolving and melting into the surrounding space. Hips and buttocks relax. Hands and arms relax. Torso, all the muscles in the area of the spine, all along the back, the abdomen, the chest. All the muscles in the torso relax. Checking to see that the chest and shoulders, a place that we hold so much tension, are relaxed. Relax all the muscles in the area of the throat, the neck, all along the back of the neck, the whole circumference of the neck relaxed. And now relaxing all the muscles of the face, chin, lips and tongue, jaw and cheeks, eyelids, eyeballs, eyebrows and forehead, temples, and scalp. The whole body relaxed. Mind is set free. And you're experiencing a deep sense of contentment. Union between yourself and the universe. It only takes a reminder to breathe, a moment to be still. And just like that, something in you settles, softens, makes space for imperfection. That harsh voice of judgment drops to a whisper, and you remember again that life isn't a relay race, and that waking up to life is what we were born for. As many times as you forget, catch yourself charging forward. That many times you can make the choice to stop, to breathe, to be, and to walk slowly into the mystery. Walk Slowly by Danna Faulds. As you take your next breath in, I invite you to feel the entirety of that breath. Follow it through its full flow in and out. Notice how you feel. Remember this feeling. It will invite you to come back again and again to the mat. Just start to move your fingers and your toes. And any other organic movement that feels right to start to bring yourself back even more. Stretch my arms above my head, extend my feet, kind of move a little side to side. Hi, Chloe. And one knee into the chest. And then the other. And then maybe both. I'm going to circle my knees a little bit. And begin to roll up over onto one side and help yourself up to seated. Thank you for showing up to yourselves, for meeting me here on the mat. If you found this practice helpful, I invite you to please make sure you hit subscribe on this channel. We continue to age gracefully. I believe that yoga has saved my life many times, physically and mentally, and I intend to bring it with me to the last breath of my life. I hope you enjoyed. Please feel free to hit subscribe if you'd like to join me again to get all the latest updates. We're relatively new here on the YouTube channel. I've had lots of encouraging feedback and will continue to bring offerings to this platform. So thank you and namaste. And thank you from Chloe too. Yeah. Bye for now.